What's up? Inflatable enthusiast here, and today's review is on the 2006 air-blown inflatable 6-foot tall Leprechaun. So I got this off of eBay for $75. It was opened and it was in used condition, but the images on the listing looked like it was in really good condition. And this is just one of the classic Leprechaun inflatables. And I wanted to get a Leprechaun inflatable for St. Patrick's Day, but the newer 6-foot Leprechaun has a cheap fan, which I really hate. I feel like that should have a, like a 1-inch blade slow starter or like a YEF 60 or something like that. But yeah, so I found this guy on eBay. I thought the design was really nice, and it was in pretty good condition, and the price wasn't too bad. It was actually the 6-foot Leprechaun with the cheap fan nowadays sells for, I think, either $60 or $70. So this was not much more expensive than that. So yeah, like I said, the images on the listing showed it was in good condition, but I don't know, something could have happened to it. I don't know. Or it's not as in good condition as I thought it was. So that's what we'll be looking at in this review. So here's the front of the box. It has a green and like sort of orange goldish color scheme. Looks really nice. There's the air-blown inflatable logo. It's orange and green and white. There's the side of the box. There's like a house in the background. One thing that you'll notice about older Gemmy like box art, they usually always had like a person stand next to the inflatable and make like an over-exaggerated expression. I'm kind of happy that they don't do that anymore. It's sort of cringy, but it also does give off that, early 2000s vibe. Usually, like, for some of the Christmas ones, they have, like, little kids dressed up in, like, winter clothes. I don't know, I just think it's kind of funny to see what their expression is every time I get one of these classic boxes. Yeah, so there's the height comparison. It was on the other side, too, but there's the 1, 2, 3 setup. 2006 Gemmy Industries, and it shows what it includes. So yeah, 4 base stakes, 4 tether stakes, 4 tether ropes, 1 extra light bulb, and 1 extra fuse. I really wish Gemmy would include extra lights and extra fuses with their new inflatables, but unfortunately, they just don't do that anymore. But yeah, as with typical old Gemmy boxes, it has the 3 tabs. I'm not exactly sure where this was sold. There is this like thing up here at the top. I don't know what this is for. Well, it's to scan it in the store. But judging by this S here, I would say Sears if I had to guess. But I have no idea where this was sold. That's just a guess, just throwing it out there. But yeah, as you can see, the box is already opened. There's a sticker right here. So yeah, I'm hoping this is in good condition. In the photos, it looked to be in decent condition and inflated pretty good. Here's the stake pack. There's actually plastic stakes, not the metal twisty stakes like they usually would use back then, which is interesting. But yeah, as you can see on the box, it inflates extremely tightly, but that's also a prototype. Most of the time, prototypes inflate better than the final product, or they look better than the final product. So yeah, the material feels a little thin. Doesn't feel super good. Like I said, this was used. But yeah, I'm going to take this out of the bag. There's really no point in looking at the fan. It's just one of the older Gemmy fans, and knowing what type of fan it is completely useless nowadays. So we're just going to completely skip over that. So I'll take this out of the bag and we'll inflate it. But the base fan is the plastic base fan with the ropes. The seller did actually say in the listing it would have to be staked down to stand up correctly. I think this is part of the problem right here. One of these clips was undone, so I'm actually just going to pop that right in there. But it looked like it stood up fine just on its own in the listing, so I don't know. But that might have been part of why they said that. That could be a problem. See, this is what I don't understand about the tethers on the plastic base fan legs. The reason why they put it on the super long metal legs is because the metal legs fold outwards, so putting the tether in the middle keeps them, standing up. But these push them inward, so it, like, screws it up. So there's honestly no use for these tethers on the plastic base fan legs, but, yeah, so I'm going to plug it in and we'll inflate it. Alright, let's see. So yeah, just it inflating there, I did notice a few thin spots. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. This inflatable is used and it's not in perfect condition. But as long as it inflates and it stands up and inflates pretty good, I'll be happy with it. But there is actually another, that base fan clip came undone. So let me actually go fix this real quick. Alright, so here he is. You can watch him fall real quick. There we go. So yeah, the inflatable, it's thin. I can feel the brim of the hat here especially does not feel very good at all. As it was inflating, I noticed a few spots that were completely thin and see-through. So yeah, this isn't new to me. I've gotten many inflatables that are like this in the past. I don't know why. It just seems that like I'm like I don't know, a magnet for like terrible condition inflatables, because every time I buy an inflatable, it is almost always like an older inflatable. It almost always comes in the mail in worse condition than it was, or than it looked on the listing. But yeah, this will not stand up on its own. If I tether it, it would stand up, but it still is, it's just weak. It does not inflate good at all. It's in pretty poor condition. And I absolutely hate, like, you know, flex sealing inflatables and all that because I'm terrible at it. I never put the right amount of layers. So even though putting a strong fan on a thin inflatable doesn't always work, it really depends on the size and how thin the inflatable is. Now, this inflatable is not entirely thin. As you can see, it still inflates, it just doesn't stand. So I'm thinking maybe if I get, you know, a 125, this would inflate. So for right, I mean, he looks good. In the listing, the seller had him leaned up against a door. So that's probably, you know, one of the main reasons why he was actually standing. I cannot get him to stand at all right now. Even if I lean him up against that air conditioner down there, he leans to the side. I just want to get a good look at him without having to pick him up, but he keeps on falling. But the design is very nice. Gemmy really just needs to... I'm just sick of the cheap fans, honestly. I'm just so sick of them. Because this is such a nice design. It hasn't been re-released, but like the other Leprechaun that they did re-release with a cheap fan, there's really no reason why they put a cheap fan on it. They should just keep releasing it with a base fan, because I would have bought in that instead of this. Yes, it's a nice classic, but this is the problem. It's in bad condition. So the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stronger fan in it, because I do not have the time nor the patience to, you know, like seal this entire inflatable with whatever, because that's another thing. Every week I get, you know, messages and I see all these things online where they're like, oh, we found this new thing that you can use to seal inflatables. Flex Seal has not worked for me in the past. I used it on my Pac-Man. I probably didn't use it correctly, but I put a few layers on the entire thing. I covered every spot and it still did not inflate very well. So I'm probably doing something wrong. But I just don't, like I just said, I don't have the time or the money. Well, I have the money, but I don't have the time or the patience to flex seal or seal an entire inflatable. And I don't know what else to use besides flex seal, because there's so many different things that people have recommended to me. I don't know which one to try. And I don't have an inflatable to like test it out on, because I don't want to ruin the inflatable either if I don't know if it's going to work or not. So I'm going to get a stronger fan. Hopefully, it'll work. I think it will work, because like I said, it's not entirely thin. So if the inflatable is, like, you know, not standing up, but it's also not entirely thin, taking a stronger fan is not always a bad idea. And it does work sometimes. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get like a 125 or something. I think I have like one or two spare. or I can just take it out of another inflatable temporarily. But yeah, for now, I'll just rate it on, besides it being thin, besides the condition, it's a nice inflatable. If you can get this in good condition, I highly recommend this. The classic, you know, like Gemmy Leprechauns are very nice ones. If you can get the original base fan version of the 6-foot Leprechaun that's out now, definitely pick that one up. Because I think $70 for the cheap fan one is ridiculous. That's the main reason why I bought this, because I thought it was going to be in really good condition. But yeah, so at the time of me making this video, this video probably won't be released until like about a week after I'm filming this. Usually I release a video within days after filming it, but I want to show the result of putting a stronger fan in it in the same video. So the next time you see me with this, and this has a stronger fan in it, it'll be, I don't know, days from now. But for now, this is the condition it's in. Yeah, as you can see, it has a pot of gold down there. It says Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'll turn the lights off just for the heck of it. Okay, here's it with the lights off. It is much, much brighter on camera than it is in person. In person, it honestly does not light up very well. I don't know if there's a few C7s out. I don't think there are. I think there's about 5 or 6. Actually, there may be 1 or 2 out in like the body of the Leprechaun. But the pot of gold doesn't light up at all. Like I can barely read Happy St. Patrick's Day. But that doesn't really bother me. I mean, you know what it is. It's better than having LEDs. But yeah. So, anyways, that's it for now. I'm the Inflatable Enthusiast, and I'll see you guys. Well, actually, I'm doing the outro, but I'm gonna be back in 2 seconds, and you'll see it with a better fan. All right, so here's me 1 day later, and he inflates really, really good now. I put a YEF 125 in him. He's obviously still thin. Stronger fans don't fix the material, but for now, he's usable and he inflates pretty good. So yeah, he's all set up for the display now also. So yeah, you'll see more of him, and you'll see him at night. Actually, no, I did show him at night already. Yeah, you'll see the rest of the display in a little bit. So anyways, that's it for this review. I'm the Inflatable Enthusiast, and I'll see you guys next time.